here to talk about the SIB and the importance of it is to completing these projects for Beaufort County. Those are the members on the SIB, and they are very important folks, and we've got to get their attention to make sure they realize what Beaufort County's done for themselves. Because as the SIB has said, they want to help those that help themselves. And if you look at the financial chart that I've handed out, you can see how much Beaufort County's helping themselves. We're going to submit this application with a 60-40 split, and what that means is that Beaufort County is going to kick in 60% of the funding to complete the three highest priority projects: the Bluffton Parkway, as Colin explained, the widening of SC 170, and the completion of the widening and a new bridge across the the Beaufort River, SC 802. And Beaufort County is going to be requesting a grant application from the SIB of approximately $86 million. Now, this 60-40 split is pretty much unheard of in terms of how much the county's kicking in. A lot of the SIB's grants in the past have been much less leveraged. Counties maybe put in 5 to 10%.
In terms of sales tax collected for the whole state of South Carolina, state sales tax, South Carolina sales tax, what percentage do you think comes from Beaufort County?
We had that figure when we looked at it earlier in the year. Stu, do you remember what that?
The only reason I suggest is if you're, with your application, it's a pretty good case to be made, particularly in the low country here, that if you had dollars to spend, the best rate of return on your dollars is what you're looking for from a statewide perspective, that the coast of South Carolina in many ways is the cash cow for the rest of the state. So I'd just be curious how this end of the coast does versus Myrtle Beach and Charleston.
We highlighted earlier this year, we sat down with a task force to look at education funding and looked at total state revenues collected in Beaufort County and then income tax dollars, because of a lot of retirees and a lot of income here, versus the amount of investment that was returned here by the state, and it was fairly significant in terms of our contributions, and yet not many dollars returning back.
Your application, because I would think this would be one of the counties where you could see more infrastructure actually over time leads to more state revenue.
Yeah, we were a donor to the extent of, I believe, about $125 million of what we send versus what we get back as a rough calculation.
Okay. And this is the application. And it is complete, except for a few forms we're waiting from DOT. But there's a lot of statistics in there. For instance, Beaufort County has the lowest unemployment historically throughout the state of South Carolina of all 46 counties. It also has the highest per capita income. And so there's just some figures that I think support what you just said, Senator. But why should Beaufort County receive this SIB grant? Well, probably for four important reasons. The leverage ratio I just mentioned probably is most important. Number two is the population. It's the fastest growing county in the state of South Carolina, and its road network is significantly falling behind. So town of Bluffton, for instance, is the fourth largest city in the state geographically, has 50,000 building permits already issued for unbuilt homes.
50,000?
50,000.
Outstanding.
Outstanding.
How does that affect your sewer system?
So, and you figure a new school is every 1,000 children is one new school. So the numbers are staggering.
It keeps Dean Moss busy. But that's, schools, or everything, parks, roads, libraries, everything else is just being unbelievably taxed.
Right.
And hopefully we're now doing a better job with the county working with the municipalities to jointly plan rather than some of the things that have happened.
Before I forget, Dwight, can you stand up for a second? Dwight put most of that together, and Senator Dwight is with our firm, and he served 2 tours in Iraq and was awarded the Bronze Star twice.
We're proud of you. Thank you.
And he's don't let me fool you. He's done the bulk of this work.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Back to the reasons why Beaufort County should get this SIB grant. The third reason I think is very, very important: hurricane evacuation. If a tourist on Hilton Head Island got 24 hours notice, it would take them 18 hours to reach safety. Of the 239 approved shelters in the state of South Carolina for hurricanes, there are none in the Low Country in Beaufort County. And I guess that's why it's called the Low Country, because most of Beaufort County will be underwater in a Class 3 or higher hurricane event. everything on Hilton Head except for the airport is underwater in a Class 3 hurricane.
Really?
And Beaufort County statistically is the next area along the East Coast to receive the big one. And there's a professor at USC, and we've quoted him and have a lot of his papers.
When you say underwater, I mean, what do you mean?
Storm surge is about 13 feet over most of Beaufort County.
It's the only county in the state that in the...
Well, how do you get anybody to sell insurance? I mean, how do you get insurance?
It's a problem.
It's expensive.
It's very expensive.
But it's the only county in the state that in a Category 2 or higher, the entire county has to be evacuated.
Really?
Just geographically, the way we lay out, 2 or better, the entire county evacuates.
Oh, glad I came.
Well, and it's one of the reasons why we've invested in so much camera technology and having various views.
So it's just a matter of time when these things hit, right?
Well,
And we gotta be able to get people out.
the last big storm to hit was the Great Sea Storm of 1893, and the historians say that was a Class 4, Category 5
I might have
storm.
saw that one, I don't know.
So the odds are that it's coming, and is our road network ready for it? No. And we vitally need those funds to make it. Last but not least is the military presence in Beaufort County. You have 3 major military installations: Parris Island, the East Coast training depot for Marine recruits, the Marine Corps Air Station, one of the best training facilities for Marine fighter pilots and also naval pilots, and then the Naval Hospital, which is ranked as one of the best naval hospitals in the country, which is why a large number of retirees locate to Beaufort County. Beaufort County, over the last 5 BRACs, has done extremely well, or at least the basis here.
Senator's help.
And the military cannot continue to grow and reach these goals in Beaufort County without a transportation network that can keep up with their growth. And with the new Joint Strike Fighter, the F-35, that hopefully is going to be deployed to an East Coast base, I believe it's scheduled hopefully for Marine Corps Air Station. That's going to be a significant increase. The Marines are going to have 400 of those aircraft, and that's going to mean maybe double the capacity of what's out there at the air station now. So the SIB takes advantage of all those needs, and we address primarily those 4 reasons.
I'm not on the board, but that's very persuasive.
But if you can make a phone call, Senator, to everyone on that, we would greatly appreciate it.
No,
And
we're going to save his help from Washington to help get other pots of money. We're looking at every angle we can.
Thanks, Dan.
Any way I can.
Dan,
I
thank
know
you.
them all
Thank you.
on the board. They're good folks.
Good job.
Well, it is you're highlighting the fact about us having to evacuate so much of the county. You know, we're within the top 3 tourist destinations in the state. More than 10% of the state's #1 economy, tourism, comes out of little old Beaufort County. And that's why, in that context, what we're doing for ourselves locally, with certainly your help from Washington and hopefully much greater help from the state of South Carolina, really is pretty impressive.
Well, y'all got a plan. I want to congratulate y'all for being forward-thinking and not passing this off to the next generation. Y'all trying to do something now, so people that come after you will not have to spend all their money playing catch-up.
That's right.
Well, the note Colin just handed me to remember to point out that based on the historic data, the federal government gets greater than a 4 times return on their investment in highway projects. So with the $45 million that was invested so far, that's $187.5 million in projects. So we, again, appreciate your help. Tom, will you share with us
Sure.
the latest on